Hey, what's up, Tony? I hope in heaven God is giving you all the KFC chicken that you can handle, and I hope the hot sauce in heaven is hot enough. Man, you're going to be missed but not forgotten. Tell Colonel Sanders I said what's up.
Okay. I remember one time, about like 10 years ago. Well, no, maybe not that far back, but it was a while ago. And he was making cereal for us, and he spilled all the cereal on the porch, and we were all just laughing at the cereal. And the dog came by and ate it all.
All right. Tony, Bridell, and Cedric were the first cousins I ever knew. We lived right across the yard from each other in Winton Terrace. Tony would come over in the morning sometimes and get me when my cousin would come and babysit me. And me, him, Cedric, Bridell, we would hang out and play, run around the neighborhood. And then they moved to the Fay Apartments, but we would still come up here sometimes and visit so we can hang out and play. And then we eventually moved up there. And I would hang out with Tony sometimes, ride around. He had a few nice cars. He let me hang out with him for a while. That was my cousin Tony, and he would truly be missed.
So Tony would get with me all the time, and Tony was from Madisonville. They moved from Madisonville. So on that day, he was like, "Come on, cuz, what you doing? Come on with me." You know, I was like, "Yeah, sure." I was like the little kid, like, come on. You know, I was like, "Oh." And so we would get on the bus and go to Madisonville. Tony was a real fly guy. He always dressed real nice, and he had girlfriends, and he was like, "Girl, it's like, dude, go on over there." And I'm like, "Go on over there and talk to them, cuz." I'm like, I don't know how to talk to no girls. And so he was like, he encouraged me to talk to girls. So because apparently I would start talking to these girls, and then one Saturday I don't think I got to go to Madisonville with him. And these girls, he said the girls came back to us like, "Where your cousin? Where your cousin? Where your cousin?" And then when he seen me, he was like, "Cuz, what you say to them girls?" I said, "I don't know, cuz." He said, "You told me to talk to them." So I began to talk to him. He's like, "Whatever you said, man, they on you, cuz. They on you, cuz." But anyway, I was his cousin, but he actually treated me like his little brother. He watched out for me. He ain't let nobody mess with me in Fay Apartments. He's like, "Yeah, y'all, that's my cousin. Whatever you got problems, you come and see me." But Tony to me, was a real cool guy. He was just so cool. And back then, they didn't call it swag. But if you did, he had swag way before swag was swag, So anyway, I loved him, and I always will, and I love him.
Tony used to come over on Sundays and watch the football games with us. And we sit, have a few beers, him and my brother Kenny, which he was, real close to. And the next thing you know, sometime we'd shoot dice games and stuff like that. My mama leave the house. But, that was fun and games back then. He was a sweet person. He would do anything that, for anybody. Tony would reach out for anybody. Rest in peace, brother. Love you.
What's up, pal family? My name is Belay, or Billy. I just wanted, first of all, just thank you guys so much for allowing me to be part of your family and inviting me in. Tony was a big brother to me. I had a big family as well with a ton of brothers, but they were older, so Tony filled that spot. He was cool and trendy, and we just wanted to be like Tony and be like, "Hey, can we hang?" And Tony like, "No, you guys cannot hang." When Tony invited me over for, it was just a fight night. But what really sticks out from that vivid memory is that at that point, I came to the realization that Tony had allowed me and his acceptance. And that was huge for me because Tony was someone I could confide in. And that for me is something that I just hold to this day, that I love Tony. I just wanted to thank you guys for just allowing me to be part of the family. And I really appreciate that. Love you guys. Peace.
Hi, my name is Mama Rogers. That's what they call me. That's what my baby Tony Chambers used to call me, Mama Rogers. He called me Mom. I was the most respectable young man I met. I just love me some Tony, but he used to tickle me so bad whenever he didn't bring Janet home on time. "Oh, yes, Mom, I'm gonna have him, Mom. I'm gonna do it. I promise you, Mom." So one night, one particular day, I'm waiting Oh, this Negro has enough nerve. Y'all him and her coming in the morning. He told me, tell your mom sitting in the window waiting on us. Oh, buddy, I was waiting anxiously. And so when it did come in, I said, where in? You know, I said choice words. Mom, let me explain. It wasn't my fault. Janet said she didn't have to be home. And so I said, I know you ain't finna tell you. Mom, let me explain to you. So it was about a couple of days before he decided to come back. He said, I better let it cool off. I said, I ain't seen you. What's going on with you? Ma, I know you was upset with me, but it wasn't my fault. But you know what? Just to let you know how sweet this young man was. You know, he always took the time to come by and holler at me. Hi, Mom, how you doing? How's everything going? I say, thank you, Tony. You know, I said, you know you the love of my life. I know, Mom, I know. But I just wanted to let you know I lost a dear friend, another son, and I love him so, so much. And his mother did a good job, wonderful job at raising that young man. Thank you. Love you, and so sorry.
You know, I just remember him as helping me get the two youngest to daycare and going on to school, and I didn't see a lot of they would tell me some of the jokes he played on them, but a lot of the stuff I'm kind of learning. I'm like, gee. I didn't know some of the stuff he was doing. Really, I was working 2 jobs. I was busy. Like me, I always had a smile growing up as a kid.
So my story about Tony is, I always bugged him to take me test driving. And one day he finally did it. And he took me to Mount Airy Park. And on the way over there, he telling me that I should not drive with both hands. And when we got to the park, I was driving with both hands again. He smacked my hand off the steering wheel, told me the right hand is for the radio and the joint that he was smoking. So he made me hit the joint. I only hit it one quick time, but I still had full control of that white convertible strawberry red 225 that he had with no problem.
I remember a funny time when I had my daughter, Tiana, and he would come over to visit, and she would not go to him. And he would say, I'm Tony, I'm your uncle, you're going to come to me. And he was very consistent, and he would come and talk with her and visit with her. And the most she would do is sit on my lap and let him talk with her and play. So he kept coming until she went to him. Then years later, he ended up coming to Pleasant Ridge Care Center, and she worked there. And she was saying, who is that man loud, fussing, and talking with everyone? And it ended up being her Uncle Tony. So I thought that was just cute, and they reconnected. And he would be greatly missed.
One of my favorite memories about my brother Tony is when Aaron and I used to wrestle with Tony. So Tony's a lot older than us, and he was a lot bigger than us, and me and Aaron used to always play tag team wrestling and try to take Tony down, and we could never take him down. But one day, me and Aaron, we had a plan. I hit him low, grabbed him around his knees. Aaron jumped off the steps onto his back, and it was just enough to actually bring him down to his knees, and me and Aaron won that match that day. But it never happened again.
Tony was in the driver's seat. Jeff was driving the green Matador that Uncle Sam bought. Was a hot rod. Was a 442. I was in the back seat. We was coming through Kennedy Heights. Jeff was driving. Tony was in the passenger seat. I was in the back seat. You know, I'm the youngest one, so we were doing things we shouldn't have been doing. And I'm like, Jeff, you know, y'all, the police behind us, you know, they got bottles between their legs, and I'm just a little young cousin. I'm like, you know, I knew Mama was gonna whip me, so I didn't want to get that whoop. I said, just let me out. I'll get home. And I wanted to get pulled over. They said, no, we all go down. Like, I'm just, I'm a kid, I'm the baby. And Tony said, let him over. Jeff said, nah. So Jeff and Tony got to argue over me because I wanted to get out and Jeff didn't want me to get out. So Tony said, being the oldest one, he would take it up for me. But I couldn't get out the car because Jeff was driving. So Jeff never did stop. So we were stuck. So the police stopped us, and it just so happened it was the officer knew Uncle Sam, so therefore Jeff rode the police. He rode the coattail of his dad. That's the time, remember, because we was drunk.
A funny story about Tony. I don't know if this is verbatim, but this is how it plays out in my head with Tony. And a lot of times with me and Tony, the conversation would have, does mom know?
I didn't know some of the stuff he was doing.
So, mom's like, hey, tell your brother to bring you home. He's like, all right, we got to make a stop first. I'm like, all right, does mom know? Because it's, it's 10 o'clock on a school night, but let's go, Of course, Tony like, yeah, you be all right, we'll be on something. And so I would get home, and, of course, mom's like, where you been? I'm like, you told Tony to bring me home. I have no clue where I've been. But every time Tony see me somewhere and he's like, yeah, I can take you home, I used to get excited because I was about to go on an adventure. Something was about to happen. I was about to be laughing for some reason, because Tony always tried to make me laugh. But it was an adventure. It was always fun. So most of my memories is having fun with Tony. This black van stands out in my head. I think I had red interior or something, I don't know. But he knew as long as I had music, I was good for hours. And sometimes it would be for hours, But all good times with him, and I'm a little upset about him not taking better care of his body. And I'm upset at that because I definitely wasn't ready to lose my oldest brother. That's rough. But I'm always love him, and in my head, I'ma just hear his laugh every time I think of him. So that's it, miss you, bro, already.
Anytime somebody was down on their luck,
Yeah.
Granny Girl took you in, and she was in a 1-bedroom apartment. So William would call for the rice pudding. Your dad would call for the greens.
Yeah.
James Jr. wanted the bread pudding.
The bread pudding.
Yeah.
That was some good stuff.
Yeah.
Man, I'll be sitting there and we eat.
And Tony came through to make sure everything was put up for him before anybody else started showing up at the house.
Yeah, because Tony.
Hey, Grandma, you put mine up.
Yeah.
Yes, I got some Frosted Flakes, and he loved them.
I remember that one time when you I offered to take you to the vending machine, and then we got like you got a Sprite, and then we were telling jokes about how Uncle Cedric always used to put stuff apart, and how one of Grandma's kids got their head stuck in the little railing of the house.
My daughter's getting mad, and I was with my friend, and it was just me walking down the aisle, and I looked up, there's that Tony. I said, he out of nowhere, he walking down the aisle with me. I'm just walking, I look over there, he just smiling. So I just continued on. So we just made through the wedding. And Tony just who he is. He do whatever he wanted to do. But we survived it. And that was the funniest thing.
When I was in about 3rd grade, there was a group of 2 or 3 boys that bullied me on the bus. And I told Tony that I didn't want to ride the bus anymore because these boys kept messing with me. So the next morning, he took me down to the bus stop. And when the bus pulled up to our stop, the boys had their windows down and their heads out the windows, ready to call me names, yell out the window like they did every day. And Tony walked up behind me and crossed his arms across his chest and just gave them this look, like beast, tough look. And they put their windows up so fast and sat down, and I got on the bus They didn't call me no names. I could hear him back there saying, I wonder who that was. So I turned around and I was like, that's my dad. And they never messed with me again.
Supposed to get a pound of hamburger, and he always came back with chicken.
To the point we didn't even want Tony to go to the store because we knew it was for dinner. It's gonna be chicken regardless of what was on the list. I was like, oh my God. And see, like Mom would always go for it. I'd be like, see, Tony's lying, Mom.
Some of the things I'll remember most about my dad is the long walks we used to take. We'd either go to the park, or sometimes it felt like we were walking for hours when we go to the store. It's probably only like 25 minutes, but felt like a long time. But we did a lot of walking. And then another thing I'll always remember about him was the swag he would put in his voice anytime his nurses came around.
He used to flirt with the nurses in the nursing home.
I
would hear him on the phone, I'd be like, Dad, come on, man.
Trying to get some AIDS, and he was like, I just hope they're cute.
Or really any lady was around, he would ask him to do stuff, but you know, you always do it so cool. You just be so cool about it.
He was a charmer. Yeah, all the ladies at church would love to see Tony come in and help them get to their seats. And
he loved to laugh. And it didn't even have to be funny, but he'd be cracking up. If he had food in his mouth, it'd be all over the place. And if he had food in his mouth, it was probably chicken wings or chicken.
I'm saying Kentucky Fried Chicken.
And really only liked the drumsticks, but he loved chicken.
Had to be chicken, or he would ask for that and hot sauce.
That's what I inherited.
Chicken and hot sauce.
Me and my brother
Lots of
chicken.
I inherited that for sure.
And he watched a lot of movies too. He watched a lot of TV.
Some of the movies, he would leave a movie thinking he was part of the character in the movie, you know, and I was like, you know, you just Tony.
I remember he used to be obsessed with this one show about witches. We probably watched this movie called Never Back Down probably like 5 or 6 times in a couple weeks. So you just watch a lot of TV. He's always watching something. He had a sweet tooth too. Never understood how he would have a Halloween size bag of candy in July, but he always had just a giant bag of candy. And then the thing I'll probably remember most about my dad is I've probably heard him say it 1,000 times, is she's a trip. Usually talking about my sister or my mom, but like she's tripping. Like she a trip, ain't she? And he probably said it every time we were on the phone. You know, I'm gonna miss it. I'm gonna miss talking to my dad.
It was always dirty stuff. So like that's what we did.
Okay, what about?
Yeah, I can't remember that. I don't even remember the bad stuff. Not saying that was bad, but I didn't go to, you know, we didn't get in trouble.
Okay, it's got to be something else.
That's the only stuff I could just remember. I can't make up nothing. That's the only thing I can remember.
Okay.
But you may not want to play that in the church.